Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. How are you all? Hope you're all doing well. Yeah, this week's sketch, it's a bit of a mess. I really wasn't too sure what to do with this video this week until I was getting halfway through the sketch and realized, oh pants, I don't have any skin tones. So I managed to find the right colors to match with the Ohuhu skin tones. I was running out of skin tone colors, so I needed to try and get some replacements. I figured, well, I might as well grab some copics, but I wasn't too sure which ones to get. So I thought to myself, well, while I'm at it, why don't we just do a comparison? Because, you know, those of us that have started out on the Ohuhus or any of the other level entry alcohol markers there are out there, you want to try and stick to the colors that you know and prefer. So yeah, hopefully this video helps those of you out who are using Ohuhus and want to make the jump to copics but not quite sure which colors to go for skin tones. Now, when I picked the skin tones for myself, it was completely and utterly pot luck because I can't go to the store and test them. So I was trying to use swatches online to try and get as close as I could to them. And yeah, I think I got pretty close. Now, the reason why I want to try and do this comparison as well is because I've used the Ohuhu's small nib and chisel set plus the brush set. So I want to compare all three of them. And the ones that I used the most, so going back 6 months ago, back to, well, it's a bit more than that now, isn't it? 7 months. So the swatch on the screen at the moment is the first swatch I did of that set. That's the chisel set from Ohuhu. And so 25, 26 and 28 is what I was using for skin tones back then. And those were pretty much the closest ones I could get. So going on 3 months, well, to this day, you can see here the swatch that I made the other day, the 26 and 28. The 26 pretty much is out of ink, and the 28 is completely different. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what happened there, to be honest. So yeah, going back to September 2020, doing the first, well, one of the few first colors I did, this Vegeta, and yeah, you know what? It's one of my favorite ones to date that I've done. It's not perfect, but I like it. To be honest, I think the colors are all fine. You know, it was one of my first few that I did. It's, you know, a starting point, and I can't wait to actually revisit this one at some point down the line. So moving on, we've got so 3 months later, December, so still using the same colors as I was before, but as you can see, they're starting to get a little bit more washed out and pale. This is 3 months between them, and I think in total, if I'm to count, I think it's like 8 drawings I did in those months. So yeah, I ended up buying the brush set around about the Christmas time. So this is the one I did back in March, because I continued to use the chisel ones until they were completely out of it. Because if you look at these swatches here, you can see that I have access to a WG05, which is kind of like a grey skin tone. And if you was to layer that up, it worked as a substitute while I was trying to sort of figure out what I wanted to do. So I was able to get away with that and use a couple of other colours to try and get as close as I could. So when I was able to get my hands on the brush set, I was using the YR4 colour. So we've gone from the 25, 26, 28 from the chisel set to YR4, BR2 and BR3 is what I used for shading. And they're fantastic. Now, unfortunately, the YR4 is starting to die on me. And unfortunately, in the brush set, both the sets, the chisel set and the brush set, both come, well, the sets I got are the 72 set. So not the full 120, but still enough colors to, you know, make things work. And yeah, so with YR4 slowly dying on me, I figured you might be able to get away with GY173, but it was too green. I did try and it just came up too green for me, so I ended up biting the bullet and grabbing the E0000, E000, E33 and E37 from the Copic sketch series. So as you can see here in the with all three swatches together. Now I know the Copic swatches are pretty it's a mess compared to the Ohuhu ones, because those are the only ones I own. Literally, those are all the Copics I own, because I have been buying them when I have run out of the Ohuhus. Unfortunately, here in the UK, I can't actually buy the single Ohuhus because of, you know, politics and all that going on at the moment. It does make it quite difficult to get stuff shipped into the UK. So, you know, the next best thing I've got is buy single Copics. And the closest ones I could match up was the E000, E33 and E37, which the E33 and 37 are very close to the BR 2 and 3 that I've been using in the brush series. And if you was to match these up with the bullet nib and chisel, you could probably get away with matching those to E37 is probably somewhere close to 101 in the chisel set, and E33 is probably close to 104. So those are your choices there. I think in the past I used maybe a 31. You could get away with that one as well. Maybe a 41, although that looks a bit too curry looking color. But if you are using the brush sets, you've got the YR4, BR1, BR2, BR3, and any of the greys if you wanted to. The best way of the best substitute for actually laying colors on top of each other would be double up on the base color you've put down, so you are going to get a darker shade. Yes, you're not going to get a great contrast between the two. You can still create a shadow from that, or you lie a lighter grey on top if you want to, just to, you know, get a grey shadow, which is a little trick you can do in digital art if you want to. So those are your choices if you are trying to match up with the three sets: the Ohuhu brush set, the Ohuhu bullet nib and chisel set, or the, you know, you just want to buy standalone Copics. Those are the ones that I've been able to match up as close as I could with what I had access to me. Rabbit on long enough. I will leave you with this week's drawing and a comparison at the end between the first drawing I did skin tone and the new skin tones I've got. I'll see you at the end. So now we've got that out of the way, what do you guys think? There's a lot wrong with this. There's definitely a lot wrong with this drawing, but hey ho. Yeah. I've been breaking the sort of like cardinal rule with drawing lately, and that is don't draw if you don't feel like it. And yeah, you can hear it in the tone of my voice. I'm so tired at the moment. I'm so tired. But you know, I love drawing and I do find joy in it, but it is affecting my ability to, you know, get these sketches right. And as you can see in the top left there, that sketch is just like abysmal. It looks like something that it looks like it's fallen out of a Tim Burton film, that Vegeta sketch. And it just really bugs me. Really big pointy nose and very slender looking face, and yeah. It's not that I don't hate it. I just look at it and I think Tim Burton, and yeah, it wasn't what I was going for, if I'm honest. So that's why the inking one looks vastly different, because I did go back and obviously, you know, when I do these, I go back and redraw them from scratch. So I have the 3 copies, and so sketch, the inking and the color, just so I can compare them all to the M1. But you know, what we're here is for the skin tones today. So moving on to the skin tones. So one on the left is my original Vegeta I did back in September, and the one on the right is one I've done, well, end of March 2021. So what, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. It's just 6 months, yeah, 6 months. I thought it was. I'm going mad. Zerk can count, apparently. So on the left, 6 months ago, I used the Ohuhu chisel and bullet nibs. The colors used was 25, 26, 28. And if your 26 starts to run out, you can get away with using WG05, or if you really want to, lay down a base color of CG05, which is a very, very light gray, and then just put one layer down of the skin tone or any tone you want. Using a base color, very, very light base color, can actually help with, you know, keeping that paper wet if you want to go that route. And then after those, I went on to the Ohuhu brush markers, and those I unfortunately didn't manage to get anything anywhere close to 24, 25, 26 and 28, but I was able to use YR4, which is kind of close, mixed with the BR1, 2 and 3 for the shadows. And again, you can use the very light grays in there, the CG110, which is the lightest one in there. You might be able to get away with GY173, but that is a very, 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 very pale green. You might be able to get away with it depending on what kind of effect you're after. Those are the ones I would recommend. And if you are transitioning over into the copics, so you want to replace those Ohuhus with something, you know, something a bit more, you can go down the same route that I did, grab the E000, E33 and E37. Those were the closest ones I could find to the Ohuhu pens I've been using. Pretty much anything in the E series numbers you can use for, you know, natural skin tones if you want to, unless you're doing obviously fancy, then use any color you like. It's entirely up to you. They range from copper, teal rose, darks, suntan, barley beige, cotton pearl, pale fruit pink, and so on and so forth. So there are loads. You can go onto Copic's website and look up swatches there. You can buy all the pens individually, or you can buy them in packs, like sets, if you want to, like skin tone packs and shading packs and pastel packs and all those if you really want to. So there you go, ladies and gents. Hopefully this helped you out transitioning from one brand to another. The E series, again, it's the E000, E33, E37, and yeah, I hope this has been helpful. Thank you everyone for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you made it this far into the video, you know, drop some comments down. Do you prefer the coloring from 6 months ago or to now? Obviously excluding the finish, because obviously I'm still learning on how to you know, not get streaks in my drawings. I'm still learning. I'm learning. If you guys have got any tips for covering large areas on card, let me know. And I have seen try using other card. Might Might just be the quality of this card. I don't know. You know, still learning lesson. Thank you everyone for watching. Really do appreciate it. You take care, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Go create something awesome. Bye bye for now.